most helpful book ever published will teach everyone how nature creates people's personalities by compatibility, or there is someone for everyone associated with personality. What is the meaning of compatibility, or there is someone for everyone? Well, fortunately, and very happily to say, this is the promise that nature keeps with us to at least provide one compatible mate for everybody as the result of the natural occurring tendencies observed in the new science of personality, which repeats and is profoundly noticed from direct discoveries in nature. They are regarded as natural discoveries, which are permanent, natural occurring, which show up causing distinction in the science of personality. While these trends tendencies can only be observed, they will never vanish. These direct observations of trends tendencies show up in the form of patterns, which anyone can observe for himself or herself, which occur most often enough to consider them reliable trends, allowing analyses of people's personalities of their ideal compatible mates to be revealed. The most helpful book ever published will identify all these trends and patterns of ideal mates for you, even explaining how to conduct a simple personality compatibility evaluation to score yourself. That's right, and in only minutes. And this new science you will read about brings you the advantage of understanding people in a simpler way. In fact, a whole lot better than ever before. You see, when you learn about these easy trends tendencies talked about, you will be able to predict how a person is most likely to function in their life, to really know them like never before. Again, in only minutes, rather than taking months or years to get to know them to see if they are compatible for you. So what does all this mean? What is meant by the idea of compatibility, or there is someone for everyone? What is the meaning of compatibility? Well, simply put, this is nature's way of determining our best relationships for us. It is the natural tendency to perform best with certain people, or with people who are more compatible, easier to relate to, and tend to become the best friend, lover, or most trusted partner. You see, a compatibility pattern forms among the different personalities, indicating which people tend to relate the best to each other. These observed trends are permanent, natural occurring, which cause different people to have compatibility dominance among each other. While you can only try to minimize these tendencies, they remain permanent. Different people will perform best around certain personalities. Which people are more probable to get along with each other? Will a person perform better around certain people but perform less with others? To answer these questions, we need to focus on observations, which form a pattern among the different personalities tending to repeat and are profoundly noticed standing out in personality observations. Compatibility that anyone can observe for himself or herself, occur most often enough to consider it a reliable trend. The most helpful book ever published will identify the concept of compatibility for you, found in different personalities you will read about, giving you the advantage of understanding people better. When you learn about these patterns, you will be able to predict how a person is most likely to function in relationships. To know which personalities perform better around certain people and which even perform better in the absence of life or in isolation. So what are these compatibility patterns? You will realize that this observed trend appears because this tendency is a distinct natural occurrence in different people, indicating that particular personalities have the strongest compatibility with others. It occurs naturally and is consistent enough to occur most of the time as the best compatible pair. You will begin to recognize the compatibility within the different personalities. This will result in a better understanding of why some people can perform better to really hit it off with certain people. This is a result of nature's limits observed in the concept of personality. Once you are aware of the compatibility patterns, this gives you the advantage of perfecting your life. Yes, it can be said that there are people really made for each other, formed by Mother Nature, called and known as the concept of compatibility, that the most helpful book ever published will identify for you using its simple reference tables in only minutes. You see, a compatible relationship is a special type of personality arrangement that nature creates for everyone that you will learn about in the most helpful book ever published. So, can it be said that this is really a camera on nature science here? You see, in the first place, this really is a camera on nature science rather than only a theory. It means you will learn about and remember a groundbreaking new science of people's personality that no mind has ever touched, known as Itrendology, The field of self-tendency study, or meaning the field of I or self, trend, or tendency, ology or study, offering suggestions to improve life from direct observations. To be perfectly clear, this is a new science resulting from direct observations rather than a science that is created. This is strictly a camera on nature concept. This means the impact quality of this work of literature is terribly outstanding because it is not an invention of a theory from scratch, but rather an illuminating of a hidden truth of nature, a real camera on nature capturing real actual observations and positioning these observations where others can learn, apply, and grow from in only minutes. Yes, that's right, in only minutes, instead of having to spend a lifetime learning about someone's personality, and that is the very spirit of what this incredible work is all about. It represents not only a mastery of knowledge here, but also the ability to elevate others through it. You will easily learn about these life-changing, groundbreaking observations, which are now being revealed for the first time in an incredible work of literature called the most helpful book ever published, that is known for being popular on the internet with searches on Google and Yahoo to quickly find you, the most helpful book ever published. You only need to type into your search the words, the most helpful book ever published. This new science was written with strict, high-quality guidelines, as being more difficult than a doctor program at any university to achieve an official copyright for this remarkable material, presented to the United States Copyright Office and its officers. 10 years went into carefully preparing the material to make it simple for everyone's comprehension, and even fun and exciting to learn about as you journey through the fascinating but easy concepts talking about better ways to understand family and friends for increased social success. You see, once you are aware of your compatibility, especially about the compatibility patterns you have yourself, you can embrace it, and help others to discover it, giving you the advantage of perfecting your life. To really find what your best relationships are to be most fulfilling. Remember this, there is one observation that was found for sure: no matter whom you are, everyone has a desire for compatibility. This is a reality in life that nobody can escape. The most helpful book ever published will help everyone to recognize the different compatibility patterns which linger among people. This will result in a better understanding of what makes everyone happy, especially yourself. So why does everybody have these compatibility patterns? Thank goodness they exist. However, if you observe everyone more closely, even through the generations, you will notice a reoccurring compatibility pattern that is similar to everyone belonging to a certain personality group that never goes away. The compatibility patterns needed by the different personalities are very special to bring us all fulfillment in life. From this very special tip, remember this, there is one observation that was found for sure: no matter whom you are, everyone must realize that the compatibility, or there is someone for everyone concept of this new science that uses the higher quality of a camera on nature here, observing the trends, tendencies of people's personalities among the different groups of personality, repeats and are profoundly noticed, as this is a reality in life that nobody can escape. The most helpful book ever published will help everyone to recognize these trends, tendencies lingering among people's personalities to perform this task in only minutes, and will present easy methods for you to use, increasing your social success in relationships, resulting in a better understanding of people. Thank goodness the concept of compatibility, or there is someone for everyone, is a real reality to study personalities in this new science, taking only minutes for everyone to learn about each other very fast, to make predictions and calculations, to know about everybody before entering a social relationship. That is truly amazing. However, if you observe everyone more closely, even through the generations, you will notice the concept of compatibility, or there is someone for everyone, used by this new science that also is a camera on nature concept as well, revealing repeated patterns similar to everyone belonging to a certain personality compatibility pairing that never goes away, found to be generated by nature among the different personalities, and regarded as being very special to bring us all fulfillment in life. So how can this great work of literature help everyone to learn more about people's personalities? The core or body of this exciting material contains 8 chapters which describe and uncover the unique ways of how nature shapes us in a special way that improves your comprehension of understanding personalities to the point that you really can read people like a book, and in a way like never before. This means you will understand why people act and behave the way they do with their unique habits all shaped by nature. You will learn about nature's personality factory that creates personality similar to how an auto factory creates cars. 10 years went into writing this informative material. The official copyright was established and recorded in the United States in the year 2022. This is a very rare original work that can't be found anywhere else. The most helpful book ever published sets an example with the goal and desire to present a great work of quality material in a newly discovered science from the publishing industry to help others gain better health, wealth, and knowledge for a terrific future. This is a rare work that can't be found anywhere else. If you have a hobby or are a professional book collector or are thinking about starting a book collection, you can add value to your collection by collecting this first signature edition offered here. You don't have to read the whole book ever because you will only be reading the sections which pertain to you, as this will be explained with very easy comprehension to see that you won't be reading with much labor at all with mostly short readings. You only read what you need. This rare work of literature was written with the following strict guidelines which were more difficult than any doctor program at any university. First, it must be a new scientific discovery that no mind has ever touched. Second, it must be non-fiction. Third, it must receive an official registration of copyright by the United States government. This book is certainly very informative, and you will learn fascinating concepts to understand people better. This means no more struggling in your life trying to guess what you are good at, who your best companion is, or what career you're cut out for. The entire book is designed for easy comprehension and is very simple. In fact, you won't be reading this material with much labor at all with mostly short readings. Add the most helpful book ever published to your collection now. The entire book is designed for easy comprehension and is very simple. In fact, you won't be reading this material with much labor at all with mostly short readings. Add the most helpful book ever published to your collection now. P.S. Thomas W. Anti searches on Google and Yahoo quickly finds you, the most helpful book ever published.